Good morning and welcome back to Hot Kopics on the Kop TV. Smash that like button. This one, I'm expecting there to be a lot of comments in the chat, so make sure you get them in. And if you haven't already, knowing what's coming up content-wise for the rest of the season, subscribe to the channel. I'm here with Doyle. Good morning, sir.
What's happening today?
Bit of a somber one this morning. We're going to crack on and get straight into this. First of all, we're going to speak about the game itself, the actual match, and then obviously the Trent situation straight after that. I was at the game. It was one of the best first halves I've seen from Liverpool this season. It was unbelievable. We were ripping that Arsenal defence apart. And actually, I haven't seen an Arsenal defence be that open, that worried about an attacking force all season.
They were scared. Off the ball, they were terrible in that first half. They were not tracking back. They weren't getting in the spaces that they needed to be, and we capitalised on it beautifully. And to be honest with you, mate, I'm furious that we didn't go into that second half 3-4-0 up because we should have. Yeah. That chance that Diaz has, right, where he's
got
passed,
to finish that.
Mate, you've got both sides
straight
to choose from there, lad, and you've whacked it at Raya. I don't understand it. We did play electric. It was great. Got the second goal from Mo where he's lifted it over the top, and Dom's made it look like he's about to strike it, but he's just slipped it in. That is beautiful football, and then Diaz made it up by following in and running and scoring, and it was great. We were absolutely pairing. Great first half, lad. Then we went into the second half, and we know what happened, right? And we're going to talk about this after we've talked about the match highlights. Trent comes on. The thing
before that, I mean, they get a goal back. I sit in my seat. I remember looking at the clock. It was 47 minutes 01.
Which is poor defending. Poor defending from Conor Bradley, though, you know.
Yeah, of course it was. It didn't get close enough.
And also, why is somebody
that's that tall? But I missed their first goal. I didn't even see the goal because I was having a bevy after. I've seen the goal now.
Yeah, goes there and he just lifts it over the top, and then Gabby's there to just head it in. He was about 5'7". Like, why is he even free in the box there?
Trossard has got way too much time and space to whip that ball in. It's a great ball because it's right in the middle of Konate and Van Dijk. It's actually fairly similar to Gakpo's goal. On Gakpo, he becomes only the second Liverpool player to score in 10 successive starts at Anfield in a row. And the first player that did that was Mohamed Salah.
From him as well,
great header. So 2-1, you're thinking, right, let's change the game. We need another goal. The atmosphere, I have to say, before Trent came on, the atmosphere was up there. Maybe not at the same level, but it was very close to the Spurs game. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. Like fun. The songs, the Federico Chiesa song ringing around. Fuck off, Juve, I'm a Kopite now. La 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 la. And then obviously Arne Slot, his name is Arne Slot. He brought us number 20 and his name is Arne Slot. And the songs were unbelievable. The atmosphere, the vibes were sensational. It was 2-1. Trent comes on, I think maybe 69 minutes or something. And this is where the whole day and our moods, even now, it was changed at this moment. Massively. And we're going to get into this. I put a tweet out this morning saying, going to read out a few tweets about yesterday on this morning's Hot Kopics pod. Reply to this if you want me to read out your opinion. We're going to give our opinions on it now. And then I'm just going to dive into this because we can say what we want. I said what I said on the fan cams yesterday, but I think this one is more important to get everyone else's opinion on. Yeah. So let's start with you. As someone who wasn't there yesterday watching it on the TV, how was it for you?
Incredibly disappointed in the Liverpool fans. I can't lie to you, mate. Like, I understand.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. Of course, it wasn't 60,000 fans. If it was 60,000 fans booing, you would have known about it. It was a select group of fans that are frustrated with Trent, and I wholeheartedly understand a Scouser has turned his back on his boyhood team. I get it, but you've got to show class in these situations. We can't have visceral reactions like that because it just makes us look classless. Now every other rival fan is jumping on this, like Liverpool are doing this and they're not respecting the player, and there's part of me that agrees with what they're saying now, because you can't boo a player in a red shirt. You just don't. When he goes to Madrid, boo the hell out of him. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, no problem with that. But when he's in a red shirt, you just have to, don't have to support him. Just don't make any noise about it. Just let him play his football. And it ended up massively adversely affecting the performance after that. We've seen as well, unfortunately, he had to be the player that plays Marino on for the second goal for the equaliser, and it just added fuel to the fire. You could see it. And to be honest with you, I just walk away from that game feeling disappointed. One, we didn't get the result, and two, the fans have let us down a little bit, in my opinion. I understand it. I totally get where people are coming from, but you've just got to be classy about this type of stuff, because now all the headlines are everywhere. And I don't want to hear rival fans talking about Liverpool. You don't know what it's like to be a Scouser. You don't know our identity. You don't know where we come from, why we behave the way we do, and why we've been successful. It's because of this identity. So you get the bad side of it as well. I understand why Rabble fans are looking at it and saying what they're saying, but I just don't want to hear it, lads. It's nothing to do with you. Let us do what we need to do and feel what we need to feel. And everyone's got a different way of thinking about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do like what Robbo did, and he came out and he said, that's me mate, that, like, and I don't want to see him getting booed, but I also understand why everyone's saying what you're saying. You've got to, it's both sides, isn't it? You've got to try and play both sides right now, because everything is understandable. It really is. It's human emotions. That's what this is. Every human emotion is valid.
Yeah.
Does that
and
make
Robbo
sense?
defended him verbally in the press conference after. Soboslai and Gakpo were kind of doing this to the Kop, like, what are you doing? And to be fair to Trent, he didn't shy away. He walked around the whole pitch, clapped the whole stadium. And, you know, that's your opinion from watching it at home. I've got to say, in the ground, it was the weirdest emotion I've ever felt in a football ground. 2 weeks ago, it was the best emotion I've ever felt. And I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now when Trent came on. And you kind of look around to see what the atmosphere, what the feeling is like. And it changed like that. And actually, I'm going to go as far as saying this. It's the first monumental big mistake that Arne Slot has made as Liverpool manager so far by bringing him on.
Yeah.
All of this could have been avoided. Yes, I know Bradley was on a yellow, but you don't bring Trent on. In my opinion, he shouldn't be in a squad. And that's not me being bitter about his move to Madrid. But once you come out and say you are leaving for free at the end of the season, and we know it's to Madrid, that player could potentially play against us next season for Madrid. He should not be involved. I'd almost go as far as saying training. He shouldn't be in training right now. He should be shunned. He's not going to get a send-off. But where my opinion is split on this is when he came on, there was a boo. I would say it was maybe 60-40 around the ground, because the one thing that the narrative on the TV won't tell you is there was encouragement, there was claps.
Which way?
I would say 60 boo, 40 encouragement, right? So he comes on, and at the end of the day, I think he shouldn't be playing, and this is why I think it's a mistake from Slot to bring him on. Every time he got the ball, he was booed, right? He had a free kick about 25 yards out, and like I say, I go back to it, it was the weirdest feeling I've ever felt in football, because we know this fella's leaving, and he's taken a free kick. When all the players kind of dispersed and he put the ball down, people were thinking, should I boo? Should I clap if it goes in? What do we do? For me personally, booing every touch is a big step too far.
Really?
When he came on the pitch, I didn't clap when he came on,
Yeah.
and I didn't boo.
Yeah.
I was neutral, I was indifferent, because I'm not going to applaud someone who's leaving our football club.
Agreed.
And I did see a tweet that summed it up perfectly, in my opinion, maybe not yours, from Charlie, right? He says, regarding the booing, whatever your thoughts are, you have to somewhat accept that you can't build your brand on being the local superstar whose dream has come true, reap all the benefits from that, and then leave on a free without any vocal anger or without any scrutiny. That sums it up for me, right? Because to boo, obviously you're letting out your emotions, you're booing a player in red, which I can't ever do.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You can't boo a player in red, lads.
No, and that's where it goes. That's the line for me, right? Booing his every touch. I think it was just a silly mistake from Arne Slot to bring him on. In the press conference after, he said, look, I've got a world-class right back there. Conor Bradley's on a yellow. I'm going to bring him on.
It makes sense, right?
But for me personally, because we're now sitting here talking about this, because it's going to be the headline on every back page, because I'm going to speak about it on DR, that's going to be the first question now. This all could have been avoided. You've got a player who doesn't want to play for us anymore. Don't bring him on. Put Quanta at right back. Put Endo in at right back. To bring him on focuses the attention on this and not the game. And like you said, disappointed we didn't win the game. Should have been 3 up at half time.
Yeah.
Disappointed we didn't put our chances away. Disappointed the goal gets ruled out right at the end. But to boo Trent, especially every touch, that for me is a step too far. And there will be people that say, oh, I've seen tweets already, the real fans wouldn't have booed. But then on the other hand, these lads and ladies, they're paying their money to go to a game. Who are we to tell them what to do? You can't tell them what to do.
People don't understand what it is to be. I know this.
It's very difficult
when
to
people
explain,
listen to
bro.
me say people don't understand what it is to be a Scouser, people are going to be cringing and they're going to. I can see the reaction from people when I say that, right? But you don't. There's a massive sense of identity in that city. We support our own and have done for years. And that's why we prop them up so highly and give them such high praise, because we want them to be successful. So when one turns the back on, or perceived to turn the back on the city and the football club, there is a visceral reaction. There is anger, and you've seen it. I just don't think that I like to keep things as classy as possible. Try my best, right? I've been a younger man where I've got loads of anger and I want to get it out in the football and all that type of stuff. And as I've aged, I'm in my 30s now. I like to try and not have visceral reactions to things. And yesterday was an example of it. I think you did it perfectly. You don't clap and you don't boo. You just let him get on with whatever it is. He's on the pitch. He's in a red shirt, and that's it. You're not stopping that from happening. Next year, like I said, boo him. And there is a case to say, right? Next year when he plays against us in Real, if he does for Real Madrid, he'll be trying to beat us. And I get that. So I get why.
And that's why you don't play him or have him near the squad.
And I get that as well.
You don't have him near the squad.
Arne Slot's just made a mistake. Just keep him away from the squad now. And that's partly because he doesn't understand the identity of what it is to be a Scouser.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it. And
sorry, carry on.
He doesn't get it, lad. And I just feel like he's almost set Trent up there to have a bad time. And it's not even... It's Trent's fault. It's Trent's fault, but it's not Trent's fault while he was on that pitch yesterday. He shouldn't be given the opportunity to get booed.
Did Trent even want to come on yesterday?
I don't know, lad. To be honest, I don't know, mate. Honestly, it's just a sad situation now, and I feel like there's so much negativity, and we've just won the bloody league.
It could have all been so easily avoided.
It feels so sad, lad. I feel like I'm not actually celebrating the league. I'm mourning a player leaving. Like, I don't understand. This is not how I expected to feel after winning the Premier League, lad. And now when we go to the parade on the 26th, are there going to be loads of kids that boo for Trent being on the bus and that? Like, this is a moment for celebration. It's the first time in 30 years that we've all been together to celebrate this. And we're, like, I feel disappointed, lad. I'm upset by it.
Yeah,
I just want us all to be happy, lad. We don't need negativity in this space. We've just won the bloody league. Let's all be happy. Like you said, the atmosphere in the ground was exactly what we wanted to be. Jubilant and joyous.
It was a party atmosphere.
Yeah,
the songs were bouncing, the flares were going off. One thing I can't take is Arsenal fans telling us we're a disgrace for booing our own players when they've booed Emmanuel Eboué, they've booed Granit Xhaka off.
Some of them were saying Arteta out about 2 years ago, lads.
Well, they're still saying it now. But
and also, let me just remind, when Ashley Cole left due to go to Chelsea, we literally got receipts of all the different pundits and the different fan channels getting Judas and all these mad things. So let's not talk about other clubs' fans when you've done it yourself. Everyone's a hypocrite in football.
Yeah.
Everybody.
United booed Xerxes off the pitch after half an hour.
Does me nothing, this season. Hypocrites everywhere in football.
So for me, right, there's lines and there's boundaries. The perfect, in typical the Kop humour, was as Trent's warming up, we're singing Steve Gerrard. That is a subtle, but not subtle.
That's as far as you go.
Sly dig at Trent to say, there's our man. He didn't leave us when he could have. That's our man. Conor Bradley's coming off the pitch. There's only one Conor Bradley. That's a subtle dig as well. They also sung, it was always Liverpool, the quote that Virgil said. They're your digs. That's how you get at him. But to boo is every touch. And like I said, it surprised me so much. I've never seen Anfield like that in my 20 odd years of going there. I've never seen us boo our own player, especially a Scouser. Obviously, there's reasons for it. And I understand. I'm not saying for 1 second I don't understand the reasons and people don't have a right to boo.
We all understand.
I understand the reasons and you do have a right to boo.
Yeah.
And Arne Slot on the back of it says, first of all, they sang for Steven Gerrard, which is a nice thing to do, I think. They also sang for Conor Bradley, which is also nice because he deserves it. Conor did play a good game. Apart from that mistake for the first goal, Conor, that tackle in the first 2 minutes. Get in there. There's only one Conor Bradley. Get in there, lad. And then he says, just before Trent took the free kick, I heard more people clapping for him, hoping that he'd score than people booing for him. And that's key to understand, is when he put that ball down, there wasn't really any more boos after that because it was like, right, he's got an opportunity to score a free kick at the Kop end. How is he going to celebrate if he scores? How do we react if he scores? And then he says, everyone has the right to their own opinion, but it would not be fair to the whole of Liverpool to focus on the few that booed. If they want to, it's fine by me. But there were a lot of people who were really positive as well. And that's what Arne Slot came out and said after. And do you know what is the most beautiful quote, I think, that sums this up? It was from our former manager, Jurgen Klopp, who said, it's not so important what people think when you come in. It's much more important what people think when you leave. Jurgen Klopp has got a way of words. Like, he's always said the right thing. And I just think that sums it up beautifully. Yes, there were a couple tongue-in-cheek banners on the Kop. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Arteta in a bridesmaid dress. And, you know, Arsenal fans are saying that's not classy and all that. But we're reacting to a manager, and we were saying best in Europe. You're having a laugh because obviously he came out and said they're the best team in Europe. But this, this Trent thing, I called it out last year when he was signing Madrid shirts. You can't do that if you're a Liverpool player.
How many players support Liverpool, lad? I mean, people support Liverpool. How many people support Liverpool?
Probably millions. 1 billion in the world.
And you're asking millions of people to have the exact same emotional reaction to a situation. That is madness to me. I don't understand why anyone would think that millions of people are going to react the exact same way. That is ridiculous to ask people, lad. So what I actually think is Liverpool Football Club have not protected their fans. That's what I think right now. Like, as you were going through this conversation, Slot, you shouldn't have brought Trent on, mate.
Yeah.
I know he's a world-class right-back and he can make a difference in a game.
Fans.
Conor Bradley's on a yellow, but don't bring him on and make us look what's just happened now, and now rival fans and the media are on us, and I just feel like we've not been protected here. Not by Trent, not by Slot, not by anybody. I feel like they've made some wrong decisions in this whole process, and it's taken away from the shine of our wonderful Premier League victory, lad. And it's really upsetting, to be honest with you. It's disappointing. I want to be jubilant. I'm sat here after winning the league, frustrated. Why? Why am I frustrated?
And that goes back to my point, which was don't bring him on.
Yeah.
Avoid all of this headache.
Protect us.
Do not bring him on, because now it gives everyone else a stick to smack Liverpool fans with. Like I said, I did a bit of a call out and said any tweets that you want read out on the pod, I'm going to read them out. So
it's right though. What that Charlie said is spot on. You cannot build your identity around being the local boy and then leave and reap all the benefits from doing that. You can't have your cake and eat it, and that's what's happened. But it's up to Liverpool, the football club, to protect the fans from making themselves from themselves, essentially. And you didn't. Yesterday.
So I said, any tweets, I'll read them out on the pod this morning. Big up Luke, who did a fan cam yesterday. He says, do you think the door would be open for a Trent return if it doesn't work out for him? I think the finances would be difficult, but from an emotional point of view, I'm torn. What's the panel's take? No. And also, do you think Real Madrid would let him go for free? No way.
They'd be trying to sell him, mate.
No way. Here's one from Ujwal, who says, it might be too reactionary, but I think Liverpool need to sign a new starting right back. I don't think Bradley is good enough to be a starter in the team. Going for the title, he's an ideal sub. I mean, obviously, big links to Jeremy Frimpong.
Yeah.
35 mil release clause, get him in. Then you've got two great right backs like we currently do now. Biggest thing, this is from Tar, who says, the biggest thing that's not spoken about is Trent has the opportunity to deny us European success by doing this move. Trent deciding a semi-final or a final in the Champions League against us is a mental thought. Kunal says, seeing a lot of accounts that Trent booing was uncalled for, one of the best passes of the game, more than 60 plus assists for the club. How the city feels for its own lad, emotional, etc. As an outsider would never know, does not deserve boos, especially from Anfield. Yaz says, what Slot has done is absolutely ridiculous and shouldn't have been done. The fans have been fighting over since a day later. Instead of celebrating our title, if the club cares 1% about the fans, Arnold should not play. Let the fans enjoy it.
Well, I totally wholeheartedly agree. We've not been protected in this situation. That's what's happened to Liverpool fans.
From Ian, who says the so-called Liverpool fans that were booing Trent yesterday aren't true LFC fans in his opinion. This guy gave us 20 years of his life, and don't forget, Liverpool gave him 20 years as well. It's not just Trent gave us 20 years.
It's a privilege to play for Liverpool. Me and him would trade places with Arnold any day. Trent, lad, I'll swap you right now. If you want me to play right back for Liverpool, I'd die to be there, mate. Like, every single Scouse little boy, little girl dreams of playing for Liverpool. It's a huge privilege, and he's the chosen one out of millions and millions and millions of people. He was the one. And so, yeah, we can understand why people are disappointed. It's totally understandable.
Football Convert says, no doubt this whole week, Liverpool fans will be lectured on how to show good manners from ex-pros and rival idiots. By the way, why is the fan base who hounded Arsene Wenger out of their club giving us a lecture about class? This one's good as well. Trent gets put in the media like a Rashford. They do anything, it becomes global news. Funny how Sky can hear the booing, but not the tragedy chants every other week.
Very true.
And that's a very true thing as well. They hear the boos and that, but when Leicester was singing Murderers and when, we were at Chelsea the other week, that never gets called out by Sky. I had a little rant about it on DR last week and said, we've got to do better. This is disgusting. And hopefully it gets better, but
selective narratives.
Do you know what? I love football so much. It's my life. I've given my whole life to it like you have. But there are some really ugly parts of the game that I just don't think leave. I just don't think they leave.
They're only going to get worse. There's a reason why P. Mac goes and supports Lowbreck. Yeah, Lowbreck's a local team in Liverpool that he goes to support, and he got promoted, so well done, lads. And that's because he feels the joy of the game, truly. It's the media side of things that have absolutely destroyed this game, mate. And also, do you know, like, I don't know what people want, mate. I don't. I'm going to go back to, you can't expect the millions and millions of people to have the same thought process. You just,
no, you can't.
They're your fan base, because I guarantee they don't.
Yeah, and Arsenal fans saying Liverpool weren't classy. And
I do agree with
the
that, lad.
Arteta banner and stuff like that.
No, the Arteta, that's perfect, bro. That's banter. No, not taking that away from us. The booing, yeah, but not the flags or boss, okay? Sorry, he is a bridesmaid. He's not won nothing. So.
Yeah, and it's factually true. You're
Yeah,
upset because it's true. Sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, that's fine.
But they did show class with the Guard of Honor.
Except for Skelly because he didn't clap.
Well, I've seen a video where he's kind of given it this, and then his hands are just closed.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time. Obviously, Bernardo Silva did it.
And then he proceeded to grip up Salah every opportunity they had to in the game, which done me nothing.
Adam also says, Trent has been having a dig at the fans for a while now with his celebrations when he scored. Now we all know why he did them celebrations. He is a joke. He's unloyal. Hope he doesn't play a single more minute. In my eyes, he's already a Madrid player and no longer a Liverpool legend. See, that's how I feel, but I wouldn't boo. That's the line for me. The Bradley song, the Gerrard song, we're telling you.
Yeah.
Because Slaughter's put you on and thrown you into the lines then, almost set you up. So you want to leave?
It's unfair.
Go and play 20 minutes.
It's unfair. I genuinely think that Slot shouldn't have done that to Trent. Like, what's Trent supposed to react like? And fair play to him. He, like as you said, he reacted incredibly classy. He did. Went round and clapped everybody. He's not done us any. He's not been good to us, but he was classy there. And I just don't agree that he should come on. It was just stupid. That has just set us up to lose the game, and now this after it. What the hell? Why am I sat? I can't believe that I'm sat here frustrated, lad. We've won the league. See that picture there? It says champions, bro. Yeah.
And I tweeted yesterday after the game, the first big mistake from the manager this season was to bring Trent on, in my opinion. I know Bradley was on the yellow, but you've got to put Endo at right back. There wasn't a need to do it. I didn't boo, I didn't clap either. I just can't boo a player in a red shirt. Putting him on with 20 to go just wasn't it. And you know what? It was sad to see.
It was. It was
sad to see.
That's why the first thing I said was,
and I'll be honest with you, mainly it came from the Kop.
Die hard Scousers, lad. I get it. I know them Scousers, lad. I am totally get it. That's their identity, lad. I am Scouse. I'm never leaving Liverpool.
And there was a few people that ended up, fighting with each other and stuff like that because of it. So
I hate this.
It could have been avoided. This is what we go back to. It just could have been avoided if he didn't come onto the pitch. It could not. It could have just all been so easily and
could have won the game.
Avoided,
Trent didn't play. Move Curtis or put Quansah on or like that. We've not been protected. We really haven't from this whole debacle, horrible situation, lad.
There's one Arsenal fan here who says, this is the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal as clubs. One is for artists, dreamers and romantic. Acts like it. The other belongs to the worst of the working class. Because they laid a reef down last year when they came to Anfield.
Do Arsenal fans have selective memory? I genuinely think some of them are delusional. Do you not remember your famed manager, Arsene Wenger, getting booted out of that club, telling you that top four wasn't good? You're saying top four is not good enough, and then he's dropped out of it after he left. Can we all stop this? Can we stop trying to select fans like we're the only fan base that have done this? Every fan base is a hypocrite. Shut up. Honestly, lad, does me nothing. They're getting on the high horse all the time, mate. What? It does me nothing, lad.
Yeah. It's a difficult one to take. It's a difficult one to take because of we were so close to winning it. We've drawn the game, which that should be the talking point, but we're all talking about this now. So, we have been let down by the player. Let's not pretend for 1 minute that he hasn't been in interviews saying he never wants to leave, that he wants to be the captain. As soon as he's got the opportunity to leave, he's done it. He didn't sign a 6-year deal. He signed a 4-year deal for this reason. So he knew that when he was 25, he could go to Real Madrid. So Liverpool fans have got every single right to be upset, angry, frustrated, hurt, upset. But for me, and this is my and once again, I'm not saying that you cannot boo him. That's your prerogative. If you've paid your 60 quid, you go inside Anfield, you can do whatever you want. There's lines. You can't be racist. You can't be homophobic, all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm not telling you you're wrong for booing him. But me personally, I can't boo a player in a red shirt.
Yeah, same.
And yes, he makes mistakes. Yes, he's been good in times this season. Yes, he's been bad. I just think this all could have been so easily avoided, and it was naive. It was silly from Slot to bring him on. Are you
disappointed that he got booed?
I am disappointed that he got booed because, like I said, you're looking at a player who's getting booed from 60% of the ground. And you're looking at him going, it just didn't have to end like this,
Doesn't feel right, does it?
Doesn't feel right. It didn't feel right for me. Didn't sit well with me.
It's spiteful, lad, and I understand it. If I have an argument with Gilly, and that's happened before, lad, I don't go over and punch him in the face. we talk about it and we try and understand the situation like grown people do, lad, with emotional regularity. That's what you do. You don't have. I just don't agree with the booing, mate. I just think it was really sad.
Good
it's really
tweet,
sad. But also, the underlying thing is Liverpool fans have not been protected in any stage of this Trent transfer. None of it. It's awful how we like genuinely, and I don't want to hear rival fans who are also hypocrites. Arsenal, you chased out Wenger when Ashley Cole left. You call him a Judas. Like, please don't talk about our fan base. I understand, but you're all hypocrites. So stop it.
Yeah, and actually, Arne Slot, in my opinion, has dealt with every situation so well this season up until that moment, and I think he's let the fans down because it's given the fans the opportunity to boo someone. Fair enough, you can shout at him when he's warming up on the side. But once you give 60,000 fans who come from different parts of the world, who have different morals, who have different beliefs, the chance is the worst thing. You give them the chance to boo him, you're now not protecting the fans anymore. There's one tweet here that we'll finish off on from the lad's dad, and he sums it up perfectly in my opinion. Knobheads booed him, and other knobheads applauded him. Should have been greeted with silence. But that's on Slot today.
That's what we said.
Disappointing, but as always, up the Premier League champions, the mighty Reds.
Yeah, it's taken away from our victory. We're Premier League champions. I mean, like we love Trent. He's going, sound, it's happening. Let's celebrate the Premier League, mate. That's all that matters. Can't. I'm really.
Let's finish on the positives. The Chiesa song
is a belter song.
It's a belter song. I mean, I'm sad about him that he's not getting any minutes as well.
You feel sorry for him?
I do feel sorry for him.
Lad.
Another positive, the Cody Gakpo goal, Luis Diaz goal. I think they're both on 18 or 19 goals each.
This is a good
in all comps for the season, which is a very good return.
Yeah.
I thought Conor Bradley, yeah, definitely. I thought Conor Bradley was good in moments, was very aggressive. He gets up and down well. You know, he felt the love yesterday, and we're pinning all of our hopes on him. Negatives, Mo Salah doesn't get an assist. He was desperate to get an assist to get him to 20. Didn't get a goal. You know, it is what it is with that one. And obviously the Trent is the biggest negative there. So yeah, 2 games to go. We don't play for another week. Brighton away. We'll be Monday. At Box Park, Liverpool for that one.
Oh, we won't actually. Kopics, what's going on for that then?
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll still do that in the morning.
All right.
And the games at the evening. Also, if there's anyone going to the LFC Foundation darts event tomorrow night at Anfield, I'll be there. So if you are going, come over, say hi. There's a very special guest attending that I know of, but I'm not going to ruin the surprise here. So come down if you can. There are still tickets available. Stephen Bunting will be there. Keo's going to be singing as well. So as always, it's great when he's there. And then obviously the game on Monday, and then all eyes and roads lead to the parade on the 26th. But before that, we play Palace, who have just got a great result away against Tottenham. And Doyle and I will be there.
Yep.
And if you still want your Arne Slot haircut, we're doing that as well in collaboration with Barbers Number One on the day as well. So as always, it's up the Reds. As always, it's champions, aren't we? Let's remember that. Let's not allow this to take the shine off of it. Now Trent cannot play again, though.
Yeah.
We now know that Slot knows now you cannot play again, because then if you do, the fans will actually start turning on you.
You're going to lose football games.
You're going to lose football games, but also you're going to lose a minority of people that think you've acted not in accordance of the benefit of the Liverpool football fans. So don't do that again. Yeah. Trent cannot play again for his own good.
And for the fans' good.
And for the fans' good as well, because it allows people to chime in with unwanted, unneeded and uneducated opinions.
I can already see now the things that I've said on this Hot Kopics. When they go out, I'm going to get a load of stick for them, because they're going to be like, why are you sticking up for Trent? I'm not sticking up for Trent. I just don't want to make any noise about it. Let him leave quietly. He's wanted to go. So let's just not make no noise about it. The only noise that we should be making is that we are Premier League champions after how many years. That's the only thing that matters. Go and celebrate with your mates. I'm going to be with Gilly. I'm going to be with me ma. I'm going to be with me best friends that I want to spend that moment with. And I don't care what Trent's doing. I don't care. Go to Madrid, lads. Let us celebrate the Premier League. That's it.
Exactly. Would you take the £1 million, or would you let him suffer and stay and miss the Club World Cup?
Take the £1 million. Get out. Sound, whatever. It's a mockery that you're offering us £1 million. But you know what? Gizzy. Sound. You know, like, I get it.
Yep. I agree. Right. Weird one yesterday. Let us know your opinions. Thank you to everyone who tweeted in. I've read all of them out now on the show. So get your comments in. Like the videos, the least you can do, please. Because it does help. and then subscribe to the Kop TV. Don't forget it, the voice of football's most famous stand. We will see you for a match preview and any other news that comes out of the club during the week. But until then, take care. Up the Reds.